Welcome back to the Who is Will Sims podcast. Today my guest is Benny Clough. Is that how I say it?
Yeah.
All right, cool. I'm always afraid I'm going to mess it up.
No, man, you got it right.
I forget to ask before. How do people mess that up a lot on like flyers and stuff?
Yeah, it's definitely happened a few times, but it's okay. I don't get bothered by it or anything.
Yeah, I get a lot of like people that put two N's or something like that on my name, or it's just like silly things. It's like, dude, like it says it like 3 different spots in the email. Like you couldn't just double check. But yeah, man,
it's all good.
So you're a singer-songwriter from the Baltimore area.
Mm-hmm.
You've been putting out music the last few years. It's awesome to have you here, man. I know I've listened to you. You've been on Brad's podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I think I saw that you were on Weatherly too, but I don't know if I heard that one. I can't remember.
I record with those guys a lot, but I don't think we ever did like a podcast or episode or anything together yet.
Okay, I can't remember because I know I've seen your name in like a lot of different stuff. So, but yeah, man, you've been pretty busy. You've been working with the Weatherly guys a good bit. I just did a show with them last weekend up in Perryville.
I heard about that. I really wanted to go, but I couldn't.
Yeah,
how'd it go?
It was good, man. Those have been a lot of fun, and they've been doing really well. I think, I really want to try to do those a lot next year. So
that's awesome.
I definitely want to hit you up, see if you'll do one. And,
yeah, absolutely. I'd love it.
And make sure that's silenced, all right. So, basically, what I like to do here is I like to go back. I like to start like kind of at the beginning of the journey.
Mm-hmm.
So usually, one of my first questions is, did you sing a lot as a kid?
I was always embarrassed really to sing a lot as a kid because I always knew I could. It was just, for whatever reason, you're a kid, you think there's something about singing that's just not masculine, for lack of a better word. I don't know why. It's just, at the time, that's just what I thought. So, and then by the time I was 11, I had already discovered the Beatles, and it was like, you know what? Here's guys who sing, and they do a really great job doing it. I guess I can do it too. So,
yeah, nice.
Yeah, I started doing it around then.
Is that like, would you say that's like one of the first bands you started listening to?
That was the first band, really.
Yeah.
I mean, I was listening to music all my life. I grew up in a very, there aren't any other musicians in my family, but everybody in my family loved music and still does. So I was around it constantly, but I'm the only musician in my family.
So, when you were a kid, I'm guessing that's like a lot of stuff your parents kind of introduced you to. Mm-hmm. A lot of like that classic rock stuff.
Yeah.
Do you know like the first album you ever bought or owned?
The first CD or the first vinyl?
Yes.
Either or?
Yeah, either or.
Okay, the first vinyl I ever bought was Bob Dylan's Bringing It All Back Home.
Okay.
I was, I'd already graduated high school and I was about to start college, and that's when I got that one. The first CD I ever got was probably, I want to say, it was either Led Zeppelin, Physical Graffiti, or it was Black Sabbath, the first album.
Nice. How old were you like when you first had those albums? Would you say?
I was buying CDs 14 years old or whatever. That was all I wanted. Like I would get a lot of gift cards for my birthday and Christmas, and I would spend it primarily on CDs back then.
Nice.
Yeah, I want to say, between the ages of 14 to 16, I was buying a lot of CDs.
Yeah, I remember when I was in high school, like as soon as I had a car, man, like every day I would go to record and tape traders.
Yeah.
And like just root through all their stuff. But yeah, so that kind of leads into like when did you first start playing music? Like when did you pick up a guitar or whatever?
I was 11.
Nice.
Yeah, pretty much around the exact same time I started singing and playing at the same time.
Nice.
Yep.
Were you writing stuff, or were you just like kind of learning some songs? And
I was kind of trying to write some stuff. Like when I was 13 or 14 was my first couple of attempts at trying to write an original song. I was horrible at it at the time, but yeah, I didn't really start writing until my late teenage years. I was like in my last year or two of high school when I was already writing stuff.
Nice. And I know you play guitar. Do you play any other instruments? Maybe like you learned them over the years?
Yeah, I play the bass. That's probably my favorite. I taught myself harmonica
Nice.
towards the end of high school. Taught myself piano and organ. Those are pretty much the biggest ones. I try to dabble in the drums a little bit. I'm a terrible percussionist though. But yeah, primarily just stringed instruments. And
Yeah, drums are tough to learn. I played rock band. That's how I learned how to get the drums down. Even then, you don't really learn the left foot.
yeah.
But that kind of at least got me started with kind of getting the feel down of how to do it. But
Yeah.
it's definitely not an easy instrument.
Yeah, I was probably good enough to be in the White Stripes, which I know is not saying a whole lot. There's not really a whole lot of technicality or virtuosity involved there. But yeah, I was good enough to do Seven Nation Army on the drums.
Nice. So when did you join your first band?
I was trying to put bands together in the 8th grade and the 9th grade and stuff like that, but and it was always with my brother, but nobody ever really wanted to commit. My first really serious band came year 2 of college, and we never really played a whole lot of shows or anything like that, but we were serious about it together every weekend, actively writing a bunch of songs and trying to record them on GarageBand, which was the only resources we had at the time. And then after that, I was in a really serious band with Nick Ellison, and that band was called The Streams, and we formed that probably 2016.
Okay.
I want to say. I was in other bands in between then, but that was probably the most really serious band I was ever in.
Yeah, it's funny because you were saying I feel that thing of when you first get together with a band, you're like, all right, we're gonna take over the world, and you're working really hard, but then you're like, man, how do we even get a show? You got to learn how to meet people and make those connections and stuff. So yeah, it's pretty funny how that always works out. I was in a few bands that kind of went through that same progression of all right, we wrote these songs, they're really good, and then before we even really could do anything, the band would break up, and then we'd just be like, all right, start the cycle over again.
Yeah.
But yeah, so when did you kind of start performing as Benny Clough? When did that become a thing?
That was the end of high school too. I was doing solo acoustic acts. I started when I was 17, and I'd been doing them ever since.
Nice.
Yeah.
Just covers and stuff, or a mix of
covers
originals
and stuff. Yeah, I would only really do originals if I had one I thought that was really, really good, and somebody was in the audience who asked me to play it.
Okay.
Because I know a lot of people kind of just want to hear covers. I mean, there's a couple of them that want to hear originals, but ultimately it seems like everybody's there for classic rock.
Yeah, they want to hear the stuff
like
they
that.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been kind of just subjecting people to my originals,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and sometimes I get a good response. Sometimes I get responses I don't expect,
Yeah.
I might be playing a bunch of covers, and then I play one of my originals, and people start dancing and stuff.
That's really cool.
So it's cool to see that, but it's also nice when somebody recognizes hey, play one of your songs.
Yeah.
So that's always nice.
Absolutely. I probably should throw a few more originals into my set lists here and there, and I probably will eventually.
Yeah, I always kind of do them, and then I'll be like, that was one of mine, if they like it, but I'm sure you've done all the bar gigs where you're basically background music, even if you're playing
pretty much
Bon Jovi or whatever,
yeah,
doesn't always get a response. People are just kind of eating dinner or whatever.
Yeah,
so
pretty much.
Cool. And so what, you've been recording stuff as Benny Clough. Have you done pretty much everything that's out with Weatherly?
I only did my last album and everything that went with that with Weatherly. The album before that I recorded with another friend, also in the Bel Air-ish area. I did it in his basement. That was 2020 through 2021 is when I recorded that.
Nice. And when did you meet the guys in Weatherly?
I met the guys in Weatherly. I mean, I had bumped into Chris a bunch of times. just kind of out and about and at gigs and everything. And then we started hanging out, and he had mentioned to me that, he had Weatherly, and he was doing it with Kyle. And I expressed interest. I was like, we got to get together and collaborate. I'm looking to do album number 2, and I would love to do it with you guys. And eventually I got in, and we just kind of started chipping away at all the songs. And I've been working with them ever since. I'm very, very happy.
Yeah,
everything.
I wanted to say that like the last couple singles you did like just sound really good. Like it feels like a level up in production from the album.
Yeah,
which the album sounds good. It's just like I'm really loving the 2 new songs you put out, and I don't know if you're like working towards another album or whatever. But
I'm working towards album 3 right now.
Yeah. So you sent me the album like earlier this year, and I listened to that and made a bunch of notes and stuff. And then you put out the 2 new things. So if you're cool with it, I want to talk about the album and I want to talk about the new song.
Absolutely, sure, yeah.
So so the album came out 2023, right?
We're talking about London Fog?
Yes.
Yeah,
London Fog.
Yeah. London Fog was end of 2023.
And recorded at Weatherly Studios. Who all played on that album?
I played several of the instruments myself. John Amarillo, Old Man Jones, who's another good buddy of mine. He did lead guitar pretty much on the entire album. Kyle might have done 1 or 2 things, lead guitar related on there, but it was Kyle and I always working together in the studio. Chris was there occasionally. He supervised a lot of the post-production and things like that. But pretty much it was just me and John on all the instruments, and the drums were programmed. I love real drums. I wish I could hire a drummer and mic it properly, but I'm nowhere near that rich, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's one of the things I want to do up here. I want to see if I can figure out if I can get some good drum sounds. But yeah, recording drums is definitely like it's a task, and it's got to be done right, or else
Otherwise, it's just wasting time and money.
Yeah. But I mean, to be honest, like listening to the album, I couldn't tell right out of the gate, So I think you guys did a pretty good job with it.
Well, thanks.
And basically, I'm just going to go track by track here.
Sure.
Through the whole thing. So the first song on the album is "London Fog," which comes in hot and heavy, very hair metal vibe, high energy, ripping guitar solos. Tell me about that song.
The inspiration originated probably years before I even started writing the song. It harkens back to, I don't know how familiar with Tim Burton you are.
Yeah, pretty familiar.
Okay, so when he was working with Disney, like in his really, really, really early days, like 82, I think it was, he hadn't even done Pee-wee's Big Adventure yet, but he had this little short film that was about 8 minutes long. It was called Vincent, and it was about a kid who wanted to be just like Vincent Price, and one of the lines in there that I'd heard all the way from back when I was a teenager, it goes like, so he and his horrible zombie dog can go searching for victims in the London fog. And that always kind of stuck with me. I was like, there's a world there. And as I got older, it just kind of revisited me again, that idea. And I drew in a lot of inspiration from Victorian era literature like Sherlock Holmes and Edgar Allan Poe and Dracula and
nice.
A Christmas Carol and stuff like that I'd grown up reading and loving all my life. And I thought it was an interesting idea if I was doing the song from the point of view of like maybe all these characters sort of passed each other in the street at some point, because it was all around the exact same time. And I loved that idea, and I just sort of ran with it.
It's funny because I kind of got like a little bit of vibe. I don't know if you approached it this way, but it almost seems like the album was kind of like there was a concept to it.
Oh yeah,
like it all kind of ties together.
Yeah, there definitely is.
The next song is Double Groove, which I noticed that it has a nice groove going on, and it keeps the energy going from the first song. The line that stuck out to me was "The music keeps me going," which I relate to pretty heavily. So tell me about that song.
So that started off sort of like as an expansion of the first song. I always kind of wanted to do like a Jekyll and Hyde thing. I mean, again, we're going back to the Victorian era literature. So I kind of fused in a little bit of that. I promised everybody at Double Groove Brewing Company in Forest Hill, because when I had done my first album, they named a beer after one of the tracks on there.
That's cool.
And they did it as a fundraiser to help me get my first record actually pressed on vinyl. So I was like, I want to return the favor. I want to name a song after you guys, and I want to have it be on the next album.
That's really cool.
So that's where I got the title from. It was just me returning that compliment. Yeah, that's pretty much it as far as that one goes. Just an expansion of track number 1 otherwise, as far as the lyrics go.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. That's awesome that they did that. I don't know if I've been up there yet. I know I've reached out to them about doing music there. I don't know if they still do it or not. Some places...
I think it's a transitional time period for them right now.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right, the next song is Dance Until We're Bones, and this song, it's still like kind of upbeat, but it's more acoustic driven. It kind of reminded me of the band Black Rebel Motorcycle Club.
Yeah, I love them.
Yeah.
They're cool.
So it was giving me a little bit of that kind of vibe to it.
Yeah, well, thank you. It's a huge compliment. With that one, it was always kind of a life's mission of mine to write the ultimate Halloween party tune, like up there with Monster Mash and Werewolves of London, things like that. I wanted my own that, and the end result was that. That was what I came up with, and the title I just got as like sort of a metaphor of like trying to live life to the absolute fullest. If you're at a party and you just want to have a really good time.
Hell yeah, man! I'll have to add it to the Halloween playlist for
Thanks.
sure. Yeah, have you ever seen that? Have you ever watched I Think You Should Leave?
No, I've heard of it though.
There's this crazy bit. It's like very it's like a parody of like Johnny Cash when he's first in the studio. And have you ever seen I Walk the Line?
Yeah, I've seen parts of it. I've never seen the whole thing.
When he's in the studio and he's playing like a cover, and then he starts playing like Folsom Prison Blues or whatever.
Yeah.
And everyone. So it's like a parody of that, but then like Tim Robinson's there on the bass, and he starts jumping in, and he's like singing about skeletons and bones, and the guy's like, he's like playing this really good song, and he thinks that he's like helping by singing about skeletons and bones. If you get a chance,
you know what, this rings a bell.
Yes,
I probably have seen this scene somewhere, but yeah, I'll definitely
see somebody showing it to like a musician, like, have you seen this? Like it was really off the. It's not that your song reminded me of that, but with the bones and stuff, that's what it just popped in my brain.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
All right, the next song is Orange Moon, and this one's kind of a little bit more of a somber track. It's got like strings going on in it. Did you record the strings live, or was that like a kind of like a programmed?
Yeah, it was
like
programmed.
effect?
I use virtual instruments. I wish I could hire an orchestra again. I'm not rich. It's always been a lifelong ambition of mine to one day do it with an orchestra, but
yeah, that's something I think would be really cool to do on a song.
Yeah.
Like just have like a bunch, that it's not even like just getting like the orchestra. It's like having a space to like be able to provide for them.
Yeah.
Whether you got to go to wherever the orchestra is or have a studio space that'll fit it. But
definitely.
But the effects, they sound great in the song. I couldn't really tell the difference offhand. So
well, that's good.
Like if you. Like I'm sure if I like dug in there, it's like, but does it really like that doesn't bother me as much. Like there's times when you can tell like it's really bad. Somebody like was really just over relying on it, but I feel like the way that it was mixed and everything really like comes together real cohesively. So
cool.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
All right, the next song is The Flood, and this one's definitely like more bluesier. The vocals were very like Lenny Kravitz to me, like kind of just very energetic and gritty. Tell me about this song.
So I have a tendency to sing a lot about things that bother me, and I do that on pretty much almost every track at least once. I'm trying to not do that so much anymore these days. I'm trying to give myself a break, but this track was essentially me just beating myself up for everything I ever did wrong in my life. It was just like I had to get a lot off my chest, and I did that with this track.
That's cool, man. Yeah, like the meta. I could see that with like the metaphor of the flood, you know.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, you just kind of let things eat away at you until it feels like you're drowning or something. And yeah.
Cool, man. All right, Broken Arrows. This one, again, kind of like a soothing piano type song, very ethereal sounding. How'd you guys, tell me about how you guys came up with that one?
So I was given that idea by a friend of mine. I don't know if you believe in this kind of stuff or not. I do, but I'm friends. I'm an active churchgoer. I'm a Christian. I'm friends with a lot of priests. And one of them told me that he was like, God told me to give this idea for you. It's called Broken Arrows. And it's something I always wanted to write, but God just told me to give it to you. And I was just like, well, okay. And I just kind of took the title and the concept and I ran with it. I spent probably 2 years writing it before I actually had my final version. But I knew I wanted piano. I knew I wanted strings. I knew I wanted it to be like sort of Braveheart-like.
Yeah.
And cinematic. And again, I owe so much to Kyle and Chris for helping me get all that out, and they helped me do it so well. And the end result was just a cinematic power ballad, and I'm really happy with that.
Hell yeah, man! I thought it sounded great, and I've always got like a soft spot for like those kind of more somber songs.
Yeah,
like as Weezer said, all my favorite songs are slow and sad. So, all right, the next song though is probably my favorite on the record. It's Hall of Illusion. This one is just straight up like heavy metal. It gave me like Dio vibes.
Cool.
Very like Holy Diver almost. So tell me about it.
So about that one, I was drawing a lot of inspiration from books and literature at this time, as I told you with the other ones. One of the books I read every Halloween is called Something Wicked This Way Comes. I don't know if you ever read it.
I haven't read it, but I know there's a band in the area that went by that name.
Yeah, there's a Disney movie that came out in the 80s that they did based on it as well. But it was about this Halloween carnival that showed up every couple of decades and would grant wishes in exchange for harvesting their souls. And I was like, okay, if I was at this carnival and I was going through the Hall of Mirrors, like, what would that look like? And I just kind of came up with all the music and the lyrics. I wanted it to be I wanted it to be the heaviest track on the album for sure. So yeah, that was pretty much it.
Yeah, dude, I love the way it sounds. It just sounds huge and like in your face, and
thanks, man.
Just hits hard.
Yeah, thank you.
And then we come to the last track on the album, which is One Last Candle. Definitely, probably like the most somber, like raw track on the album. Definitely a lot of themes of like moving on and looking forward.
Yeah.
And I'm a sucker for a good closing track. So when did you know this was going to be the closing track, and tell me about like recording it and all that?
I mean, I knew it was going to be the closing track pretty much months before I had even written it. I was like, this is the idea. This is the album's or how the album's going to end. Recording it actually coincided with the death of my father at the time. I think I had just finished recording the vocals, and then a couple of days later he passed. And I took some of that with me into the lyrics about how sometimes a happy ending is just you moving on and going on to the next thing, even though you don't know exactly where that is. But yeah.
Yeah, man, it's definitely, I could definitely feel the emotion in the track, and I didn't know it was about your father. I lost my father a few years ago, and
I'm so sorry.
It's such a tough thing. Like,
yeah,
anytime,
did you never get over it?
Anytime I see somebody else dealing with that, I always feel like the need to just be like, hey, it's gonna be okay.
I know.
So.
Yeah, same here.
But so that's the London Fog album. I'm sorry. feel like so behind with going over that, but I'm glad we got to talk about it. And,
thanks.
So did you do like an album release for it or anything like that? Like get a band together or anything?
I tried to. It's still a goal of mine to actually take those songs and do them live with a band. I haven't gotten around to it yet, but the release of that album, again, it coincided with my father's death, and I just sort of never cut around to anything as a result of that. I tried to make a big deal out of the release, but it was just overshadowed by everything else that was going on with my life.
That's tough, and it's a lot of work to get find the right musicians and put a band together. So
yeah, definitely.
I totally understand. I've got kind of that momentum going of playing shows, and it's still dealing with people that cancel last minute or stuff like that, and making it happen. But yeah, man, I'd love to hear these songs done with a band, and hope you can get out and do something like that soon.
One day soon, hopefully. Yeah.
So that takes us into the new singles, which have been coming out this year. Mm-hmm. Working towards a new album. Mm-hmm. Pretty exciting. I think they're sounding great.
Thank you.
So the first one you released this year was "Meet Me in the Woods," which is my favorite song I've heard yet.
Well, thank you.
It's just got this Cure, the Smiths vibe going on that, I don't think that anything on the album kind of had that. And it sounds great, man. Tell me about writing this song.
Well, actually, I didn't write it. It's a cover I did.
Okay.
The band is Lord Huron, who's probably my favorite modern band. I mean, they're definitely up there in my book with the Black Keys and a bunch of other modern bands like that. But I love that song so much. I was like, I have to do my own version of this and hope it'll inspire me for album 3. So again, I got together with Chris and Kyle, and we made it happen. And how I have my own version of that song, I was really, really happy.
It sounds great, man.
Thank you.
It's just the production sounds great. I like the vocal styling feels a little bit different than the album. It's kind of you're exploring a different range vocally, which I thought was really cool.
Thanks.
And I think that the other song, "Into the Hollow," which is also kind of similar vein. It's a little bit more somber and kind of a relaxing, almost a relaxing type sound to it. It kind of reminded me of the band America.
Oh, cool.
Kind of like a Horse with No Name type of.
Yeah.
Just kind of relaxing, but just this kind of. It's like you said, it's still acoustic, but it's still got this kind of driving energy to it.
Yeah.
That carries through the whole song. So, tell me about "Into the Hollow."
So I wanted that one to be exactly pretty much like you described it. I mean, I wanted it to be around the campfire type song, where it was mellow, but it still had a drive to it. I got the idea for that one. I was visiting Sleepy Hollow in upstate New York with my brother, not this past Halloween, but the one before. And it was just kids being kids that entire weekend. I mean, we drank beer and we saw the old graveyards and the old Dutch church and walked around all the places where the Headless Horseman was said to have been hanging around for hundreds of years. And it was I just soaked all that in and I wrote something about it.
Yeah, dude.
And that was the end result of all the inspiration I accumulated from there.
It's funny, and with the Sleepy Hollow thing, it kind of feels almost like a continuation of the London Fog thing, very influenced by literature and stuff. But that's cool, man. So you got 2 songs here that are out. How far along are you into the next album? I
mean, I'm on song number 3 right now. "Into the Hollow" is the first original that I did for that. The other one is going to be released sometime within the next month or 2, I think. And I haven't finished mixing that one yet. It's almost done, and I'm already writing song number 3. The music is done for that. I don't have any of the lyrics done except for the chorus. And then after that's over, I probably have 7 more songs I got to write.
Yeah.
The ideas are all there. It's just a matter of fleshing them out and making sure they're good. But we're almost there.
Yeah, man. I mean, I feel the same way. I've got like all these ideas, and sometimes I know like I want to do this next, but studio dates are coming up, and I'm like, man, I really need to sit down and work these ideas out. Yeah, man. Ooh, sorry.
That's a good.
Songs are sounding great, man. I'm excited to hear what you guys are working on next.
Yeah, thank you.
I've been wanting to get up with the Weatherly guys in a while. Had Chris on the pod. I've been wanting to have Kyle on.
Yeah.
I think they're great guys, and I would love to work with them at some point.
Yeah, they're awesome.
But yeah, dude. And you still playing out like kind of regularly, doing gigs?
Excuse me. Yeah. Yeah, I'm still playing out pretty regularly. I'm not doing it as much as I used to do, though, because I want to... It was kind of one of my New Year's resolutions to just leave a little bit of me time. And I'm coming off of a couple of years of doing, 2 shows a week, 3 or 4 tops. And that with a full-time day job and stuff like that, it's just like there's not enough hours in the day. So I'm trying to leave myself a little bit of breathing room. But I'll do a couple of gigs a month, and hopefully I'll be happy doing that much.
Yeah, man. I mean, I've kind of burned myself out a bit from gigging a lot.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily just doing the gigs themselves. It's just like planning them and getting the band lineups together. And
it's like you're chasing something that you can never quite catch up to.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
So, like there's definitely like, 2 sides to that coin, when you gotta... I think there's a lot of people that would look at like gigging musicians and be like, I want to do that. And it's like, but it's a lot of work.
Yeah,
man. Like
it is.
It's not just showing up and playing, but cool, man. So usually, like to wrap this up, I like to do just like some fun questions, just like some what if type things.
Yeah.
Just to have some fun. So if you could travel back in time and see any band live, I'm betting I know what your answer is going to be. Who would you go see?
It would be Led Zeppelin.
Nice.
If we're talking bands.
Yeah.
Other artists, I mean, there's a lot of artists from the classical era that I would have loved to see.
I thought you would say the Beatles, but it's funny because Pat Rennie said that earlier too. He said we were talking about the Beatles, but I was also saying that like one of the things that you don't think about is like what the quality of like live sound was back then. Mm-hmm. Like I bet they were probably still figuring a lot of stuff out.
Yeah.
So it's like it might be like cool to experience it, but
yeah, definitely.
Who knows what arena sound was like back then.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What is your go-to karaoke song?
That's a good one. Pretty much anything by Van Morrison.
Okay.
Yeah, I've done Into the Mystic a lot. I've done Moondance a lot. If I'm generalizing, I'll probably say Moondance.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. If you could be a guest or like a contestant on any game show, what game show would it be?
Oh man. I guess probably The Voice, because it's musical and you actually you get to sing and play.
Yeah, I always it's always like tricky. I always think of like Whose Line Is It Anyway?
I love that
show. A game show. I would love to do it.
It kind of is. Yeah.
I don't know if I would be any good at it, but that's like I just think like that would be so much fun to do.
Yeah, I love Whose Line Is It Anyway?
All right, what is your favorite snack?
Favorite snack, sweet or salty?
I would say sweet.
Sweet. I'm a regular classic Hershey bar type guy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
I love the classics even in candy.
All right. And last one. If you could collaborate with anyone living or dead, who would it be?
Probably it would be Danny Elfman.
Oh, nice.
Because he's just one of those artists that's shaped my influences and my imagination so much. All the movie he did for all of every movie by Tim Burton, pretty much.
Yeah, he used to be in like a band too, I think.
Oingo Boingo.
Yeah.
Yeah, 80s band.
And I've heard about like other people that have like collabed with him on stuff. Like I think maybe it was like one of the guys from Radiohead did something
Yeah.
with him. But like, yeah, people. He seems like he's very like diverse in like the type of stuff he can do.
Well, it's weird because he talks all the time about like how he does not collaborate with people. He's not a collaborative person, and yet he's doing these collaborations. I'm like, well, you know, come on, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, him for sure.
That's cool. Awesome, dude. Well, I'm really glad we could finally do this after many months of trying to make it happen, and loving the stuff you're doing. Hoping we can do some stuff in the future and like, you know, do some shows or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Yeah, it was awesome to finally get to do this, man.
I appreciate
Nice
it.
meeting you.
Thank you for having me. You too.
Yeah. Check out the links in the description for more from Benny Clough.